guys, welcome back to the same network, Study Abroad Made Easy with valeenovarah. If you're just seeing me for the first time, hello, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I hope this year brings good tidings to you and your family and your study abroad journey. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I got my funding for the various countries I applied to. I know I haven't shared this on my channel, but I felt like it's important that I get to come out a little bit more, just so you understand what I did during my time, and if any of the processes or approaches I used, favors you, then you can go ahead to use it as well. Because I feel like most people in my Telegram community, that's the thing they complain about: funding, the schools to apply to, how to reach out to these professors. And I just felt like, you know what, if this is something that they are facing, then many people out there would also be facing similar problems or challenges. So I'm here to help answer those questions in my video and subsequent videos to come. So basically, when I started my study abroad journey, it was I'm going to say that at the time I was really in a place where funding was critical for me. Like, I didn't have the money, I'm not gonna lie. So, and by saying I didn't have the money, I mean I didn't have the money for, it's one thing to pay for your application fees, one thing to maybe pay for one semester, it's one thing to pay for 2 semesters, it's another thing to pay for all the semesters and even take care of yourself. By that I mean like your living expenses and whatnot. So I wasn't ready because my family had other things that they were dealing with at the time as well. So for me, funding was critical. Like, if you give me funding, I'm going. If you give me funding, I'm going. If you give me funding, I'm going. But in the course of this video, you discover that as much as I was craving for funding, I actually did not go through with some of the schools that gave me funding. How funny is that? So what happened? So when I started, I started applying to schools. I knew funding was an issue for me, right? So I started, but I was applying anyway because I did not want to hinder myself or anything because of funding. Okay, so what I did was basically apply to all the countries. Canada was the top on my list. I always wanted to go to Canada. So Canada, this is me saying this, I'll visit you someday and very soon too. So I wanted to go to Canada so badly, just give me Canada and I'm in Canada. So I was applying to Canada. I was reaching out to schools. I applied to, I think, University of Waterloo, and University of Waterloo did not give me admission. And I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, they did not give me admission because I did not, I didn't have GRE at the time. I think I had just TOEFL and I just applied because I was just starting out in this application process. So just doing whatever it is I wanted to do. And I applied to University of Waterloo. And if you know the ranking or the statistics with, Canadian universities, you know that Waterloo is a big university, it's a top university, and not just a top university as well in computer science, which is a field or a major that I'm interested in. And I have my background in computer science as well. So I wasn't just applying to Cherry Cambia School. I was just applying to the schools that I knew had, what I wanted to get out from the school. So that's what I did. So yeah, they didn't give me admission. They gave me admission, but I didn't get funding. I was denied. And then I would say somewhat more, it was more like a conditional offer because they had told me to write my GRE and submit my GRE. And then I was thinking of doing the GRE thing, but the time frame that they had given me wasn't just going to work out. So I lost it anyway. So I can, maybe say that I was denied. So that's what happened with the University of Waterloo. And the second university, I think I applied to University of Ontario. I can't really remember right now at the top of my head, but I'll need to go through maybe my email to be sure which school I applied to. Yeah, University of Ontario. I think I applied to just those 3 schools. And I applied again to Simon Fraser University. And let me tell you something. One key way to getting funding that people do not talk about on YouTube or anywhere, even when you search, is word of mouth. I know this might sound very cliche, is the word, or very generic, or very irrelevant, but it is very relevant. Now, not just word of mouth. Let me explain what I mean by that word of mouth. When I started my study abroad journey, during my undergraduate days, it was very clear that I wanted to study abroad. It was very obvious to my professors and the people that were close to me that when Valine is done with this bachelor's degree, she's going to further education abroad. So my closest friends knew, my professors knew, and I had a very solid relationship with all of my professors. And the thing, it wasn't hard for me to do because I'm an A student, so it's easy for my professors to kind of like me because I'm either doing my assignments right, not either, I'm always doing my assignments right. I'm in class, I'm listening, I am the top of my class, I'm doing excellently well. So I have that solid relationship with my professors. I wasn't one of the people that would go to my professors and start begging for grades. No, I knew that I deserved every single grade that I was going to get. So it was easy for them to like me. So they knew, they were interested in my life after graduation. They were interested in the things I was going to do after graduation. And that is very important in your study abroad journey. You need to build that relationship with your professors. You need to build that relationship with your professors to the point where they are interested in your life after graduation. They're interested in your career goals. They're interested in what you want to achieve upon, upon graduation. And that's what I delved into it. I utilized it. I was banking on it. Any conversation we were having, 90% of the conversation was going to be either engineered by them or initiated by them. But that 10%, leave it to me. I'm going to bring in something that would make you, talk to me, or, just to prick their head. I was really looking at what's inside their head and how they can help me achieve my goal. So how did I come about this? So my professors knew that I wanted to study abroad after graduation. In fact, some of them were even, they were the ones letting me know about these opportunities and, have you started applying? Are you applying? How many schools have you applied to today? Blah, 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 blah. So it was fun seeing my professors interested in my growth. Even after I had graduated from school, they would talk to me. I would call them and we had that beautiful conversation. And it was during that period that my professor had told me about Simon Fraser University. He had a relationship with a professor there. And so he told me about the school. And I think he told me about a school in Austria as well. And one of us, we had a click, if you're close to your professors, you know that there are certain students that are close to their professors. So myself and this other guy, right now he's in Austria for his PhD and he's doing so well. And I tell you for a fact that the reason why he's in Austria in that school, fully funded for his PhD program, was because of this same professor that I'm talking to you about, and that's building relationships. So word of mouth, building relationships with your immediate professor in your home country will definitely help you get that funding that you're looking for. So I know it's very, very, it might sound basic to you, but it works. The reason why it works is because these professors, they have a relationship with professors outside of your home country. And it's not just any professor. That's why you have to be strategic with these things as well. So as much as I'm saying, develop this relationship with your professors, you need to have a very good, be a student that is serious, be a student that is ready to excel. Let them see that passion and zeal in you. And it is not every professor that you need to develop a relationship with. Look for those professors that are these professors traveling? Are they going for conferences or seminars outside of, your state and outside of your home country? What are their contacts like? Where is their presence felt? Are they, recognized? Are they respected in that field? What do they know? Who do they know? And that is the kind of professor you want to, have that link or that relationship with. My professor, not only was he recognized or respected within Nigeria as a whole, he had high, respect from people outside of Nigeria because he didn't study in Nigeria. He studied in the UK. He was an excellent student. And so he developed this relationship. He would travel for conferences and seminars and come back. He would write and publish papers. So he had that, knowledge of friends or reputable professors outside and within the country. And so I keyed into that, knowledge, and I keyed into that relationship that I already developed. So how do you benefit from such relationship? So let's say that I have a professor in my department in computer science at Delta State University, Abraka. So I am A, right? My professor is B, and A and B have this relationship, professor-student relationship, a professor that is interested. Why am I speaking stupid English today? I'm so sorry, guys. A professor that is interested in my academic growth and my career growth, right? And then this professor that is B now has a relationship with another professor outside of your home country. Let's say in Canada, for instance, in my situation in Canada, in Simon Fraser University, in universities in Austria, universities in the UK. And I remember that last year, it sent me an email as well, to a link of a university in the UK that was giving like 100% full funding for master's program and PhD program. Why is this so? Why is my professor still interested in my growth even years after I had graduated? I graduated in 2014 and I'm talking about 2021. He had emailed me, we chat on WhatsApp. I'm not just in all of my professors. I have this personal relationship with them. So as at 2021, he was still sending me emails that he received from schools in the UK that were giving out 100% funding. And if I'm being honest, 120% funding, because they were giving you tuition, they were paying for everything, but then they were also giving you stipends per semester. So that is the way you want to go. So word of mouth is very key. So that relationship that I had developed with him and the relationship that he had developed with other, reputable professors within and outside the country, I was reaping the fruit of that friendship, if that makes sense. So he had told me about this professor in Simon Fraser University, that there was an opportunity and he was looking out for students, good students that would come into his department, and he was willing to give them funding, like 100% funding. And so I had reached out to the professor. The connection was made already, so I just reached out to him and he told me to write my proposal and everything. So I went about writing my proposal. So if you need me to also make a video on how to write your proposals and even how to reach out to these professors, what to say in the emails, let me know and drop all your questions in the comments down below. And if you've been enjoying this video so far, please ensure that you subscribe, like, comment, and follow me on all of my social media platforms as well. We have a Telegram community. You can use this opportunity to also pause the video, check my description down below, and join my Telegram community as well. So yeah, what was I saying? So I reached out to him. He told me to, do certain things. So I started the whole process, and I knew I was going to get this 100% funding. So it was not debatable at all, because he had psyched me. I'd had a conversation with him. We had a series of emails. I've been doing whenever I reach out to him, he asks me to do something, I do it. And then, so the process continued and continued and continued. So I think I was 80% into that process with that Simon Fraser University when I started my USA application as well. And at the time, I got to a place where I just wanted to, the first school that would give me the admission, the first school that would give me, I wanted to leave. I was done. So at a point in my life, I wasn't really, I was really, really done. I was no longer funding focused, if I'm being very direct. And so when the offer from UAB came, I just went with it. I'm trying to say this because I know that, so that's how I got that funding, even though it didn't translate because I stopped. I didn't continue. So I stopped because I got another admit in the USA, and I was like, you know what, let's move with USA. So because it was going to be faster. So I had my personal goals. I know what I wanted to achieve per time, per month, per year. And so the one that fell within my goal, I went with it. I ran with it. Okay. So if you are somebody in my position, you are like, oh, so sometimes I question myself, Valen, did you really want to go to Canada? You said you wanted to go to Canada. Why didn't you go through? Okay. But yeah, I can visit Canada anytime, and maybe I can take up a professional course there anytime. It doesn't end there. So that's what I did. So that's how I stopped. But I would say for a fact that I got that funding from Simon Fraser University, and that is a very good university that you want to apply to. Research them. It's a really great university. Their programs are very good. So I'll try to drop the links in the comments down below, in the description, so you can check out that university as well. So that was it for Canada. So that's how my Canada application and funding ended. So let's move on to USA. So USA, I applied to a couple of schools. I think I applied to George Mason University. Oh my God, that university, they gave me admission for data engineering. It was my lifelong, I love data science. If you know me, you know that maybe I'll make a different video to just share my journey into cybersecurity and whatnot then, because I have had so many questions from people asking me, how did you get into cybersecurity? So I'm going to make that video as well. If you want me to make that video, let me know as well. So I went on with Simon Fraser. No, what am I saying? So I applied to George Mason. They gave me data engineering, but why I didn't go through with George Mason was because it was more or less like a pathway program. I don't know if you know what pathway programs are, but pathway programs are basically programs that, it's not like your full direct master's program. It's a pathway to the master's program. So you do it for like a year and then you proceed to your master's program. I wanted a direct master's program. I'm an A student. I had all my, and at this time I'd written my GRE. I'd written, I don't know, I think at this time I had not written my GRE. I can't really remember these days anymore. But, so why would I be doing a pathway program? And it's not like I'm going from a different background into a new background. I had computer science background. I had computer science diploma. So why would I be going through a pathway program? But that was it for me. And I felt like it was also additional expenses because I was going to be paying like over $30,000 for just that pathway program. And that is not the master's program as it were. So I'm like, you know what, Charlie, I'm not doing this. So I just, you know what, I'm not doing this with George Mason. I wanted them to like give me, I think George Mason is a private university. I'm not sure. I need to figure that out, but you can find out for yourself if I don't include that information. So what happened was, with George Mason University was really expensive and I wasn't ready to put so much money into a pathway program, when it's not a direct master's program. I think they offered me like 4,000 or 5,000-ish, sort of scholarship or funding, but I just felt like it wasn't worth the trouble. If it were for like my direct master's program, then I would have considered it a lot more. So it wasn't the case at the time. So I didn't go through with George Mason University. I think I tried to apply to one university in, was it, Chicago State University. I can't remember, but yeah, that's it. But let me just go straight to University of Alabama at Birmingham, UAB. As you all know, at this time, I wasn't really, looking out for funding anymore. And I was just like, because again, at this point, I was already in a place where I could actually foot the bill. Like I had a sponsor that was going to, take care of my funding. So I wasn't really interested in getting funding or anything anymore at this point. Okay, so I just wanted admission, a good school that had like a good course for my major that I'm interested in, and I'm good to go. Okay. Remember I graduated in 2014 and this was in 2018. So after 4 years, I've tried now. So I just went with it. Okay. So what happened with the University of Alabama at Birmingham was they didn't give me funding when I applied or anything. And I wasn't looking for at this point because I was like, I can take care of my bills, right? So, when it's like, when you're not looking for anything, it comes to you. That I would say that's what happened with me with University of Alabama at Birmingham. And this is me saying to someone, if you are worried about funding or anything, but you have some sort of money that you can start that program with, go ahead and start. Once you get to the school, it's possible for you to get funding. And it's even a lot easier for you to get funding when you're already in the school versus when you're in your home country. But you should only do this when you know that even if the funding does not come, you can still take care of yourself. So if you don't have like a plan B somewhere in place like myself, don't go through with this, this strategy that I am talking about. So remember the first thing I said, that is word of mouth, building relationships with your immediate professors in your home country. That can actually give you funding like it gave to me for the Simon Fraser University. Another thing that can help you is actually, not building relationships with your professors in your country right now. So I'm not talking about your home country. I'm talking about the school that you're doing your program. So that's what helped me. So in my school, I think I shared a video about how I got my first job, on-campus job at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. I'll try to link it somewhere. I don't know what's happening to my English right now, but please forgive me. So how did I get that funding? I got that funding from, building a cordial relationship with my professors, talking to them, communicating with them, sharing. It's pretty much the same strategy I used in Nigeria that I used here in the US. So I replicated that same strategy of, building that relationship, good relationship with my professors and communicating with them what my intents are. So if you're someone who's like, okay, so there are two ways to this thing. Let's say you're somebody who's already in your school and you still need funding. This is something, building that relationship with your professor would definitely help you get that funding. They'll tell you about jobs, about funding or scholarships that you're not even aware of. Like they're not even on the website. you can't see it anywhere online, but they know they exist within the department. And I think I made a video with Amara where she also talked about this and how this also helped her to gain scholarship and funding while she was in school already. She didn't get funding outside of while she was in her home country when she was applying, but she got the funding when she had already arrived at school. And that same strategy, I used it too, and it worked. So it's working for people. So if you have a plan B that you know that, okay, maybe my family can take care of me regardless, or my uncle can take care of me regardless, I can be able to stay afloat for a while, then you can try that strategy. But if you're somebody back home, so this is the part 2 of that strategy. If you're somebody that's just applying to the school and you want to get funding, so word of communication is also very important. Introducing yourself to these program coordinators, reaching out to them even during the application process or before the application process, just getting them to have a feel of you, to see how relevant or how useful or how interested you are in their program is very important. And it starts by sending that email, reaching out to them. My name is valeenovarah. I'm a Nigerian and I'm a prospective applicant to your school. I'm interested in the Masters in Cybersecurity program, but I see that there's no funding for international students. And I'm reaching out to ask you if there is some sort of funding that would help me achieve my study abroad dream right here at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Boom, send that out. Let it be very short, sweet, and straight to the point, showing who you are, showing your interest, showing why you want that funding from them, and see what that response is going to be. Don't think that it's going to happen, immediately you send that email, you're going to get funding. It doesn't happen that way. So you definitely get some negative feedback, you get some positive feedback, but just try it and you definitely get something. So that's how I got my funding at UAB. I reached out to my professor and then finally was able to tell me about this graduate assistantship position, and I got that graduate assistantship position. If you want to know more about that, how everything went, just click the link here or somewhere, or check through my channel to see the video about how I got my first on-campus job. I was very detailed in that video. So that's how I got it, and that's how I got that scholarship with UAB right there on campus, even when people were still worried. And I started in spring. Spring is a period where you don't even I think I made a video about the differences between fall semester and spring semester as well. So you need to go watch that video so you understand. So it is possible. There's nothing impossible. There's nothing impossible with this study abroad thing. So people might tell you it will not work, it will not work. It might not work for them, but it might work for you. So try until it doesn't work for you. Then you can say, oh, it doesn't work for me. But anything that does not work for me does not mean it's not going to work for you. And anything that works for me might not work for you as well, but it might work for you as well. You never know until you try. So try. So let's move on to the UK. I applied to UK. I think UK is very, in my opinion, was the easiest to get funding. I had over 5, 6, 7 scholarships from UK, but I just was not interested in UK. I didn't like the fact that, okay, you go to UK, you go to a country, you study for 18 months and you're back to your home country. At the time, they had stopped the 2 years, work permit or post-work study in the UK. So I was not interested in that. That was one thing for me. The second thing was my brother was there and I wasn't really interested in being in the same country where my brother is. And now thinking about it, I felt like that was a stupid excuse, because I would rather be in a place where I have family than not be in a place where I don't have family, because it's very lonely here. Nobody will tell you, but it is. So yeah, so I got funding and all I did was just apply. I did not do any in-depth, rigorous reaching out. No, I never did any of that. Just reach out to them, applied like the normal way you'd apply to any university in the UK, and they gave me funding with my application, so with my admission. So it was pretty easy for me, and they were still reaching out to me. I have emails from these schools. I think I applied to University of Leeds, they gave me funding, Leicester University as well. I can't remember, is it Duke or something, but I had over 6 scholarships from UK alone. But I just did not like the fact that, okay, UK, you would be wondering, okay, why did you then apply to UK if you didn't want to go to UK? I applied because at the end of the day, it's stupid for me to just, apply to one country. What if it doesn't work out? So I was also weighing my options, and I didn't want to put all my eggs into one basket. At the end of the day, I was like, if anything does not work out, UK will definitely work out. And plus I have some sort of funding from UK as well. So that's it on my journey to finding scholarships here in the USA, in Canada, and even UK. I gave all the strategies, I gave all the approaches that I use, even, you know, right there in my home country, and how they worked for me and worked for people. So I am imploring you, or I am urging you to try these things out. People reach out to me on a daily basis to tell me, oh, how can I get funding? I can't start. If you can't start, you will never get that funding. If you're waiting to have that money in full, you will never get that funding. I remember series of applications I made before, without even knowing who was going to fund it, you know, but I started regardless, and I stayed, how many years? I stayed like over 4 years, and it worked out. So it does not just come to you like that. You have to keep working, and, you know, the nature or the universe would also see the effort you're putting in, and one day it will just click. So if this video have been helping, I don't know what's wrong with me today, but yeah, if this video has been helpful to you, please ensure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share with family and friends. Just, you know, show support. And if you have more questions that I did not answer in this video, drop them in the comments down below. I'll definitely answer those questions as well. So yeah, so I just felt like I should share my journey with you. This video was very random. I was just trying out my filming setup to see if it works, and I just made this video. So I hope you like it, because it came from my heart. It wasn't scripted. And I'll see you guys in my next video, where I will be talking about maybe some schools. We're going to be looking into some schools that are still giving funding for like fall 2022, if you're still applying at this point. All right, so I'll see you guys in my next video, and don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. And until we see you again in my next video, I remain valeenovarah, and I pledge to never give up, and I hope that you do the same. Bye guys.